Yeah, so yeah, this is the I was just gonna ask you if anybody got the rule of it. I was about to like long this here again, like again in the 1 minute it looks very it would look like just wicks, maybe some candles there, but here on the 15 second and on the lower time frame charts it looks like a clean grind up, right? That's what I have been explaining for the last two sessions where wherever you see this type of structure, you just long it, especially if it's at a POI or a level that where you need to see price reclaim, right? So it's a very perfect retest, I'd say, like just price slow grinding into the low, and then it just obviously pumps up into a short PI, which can obviously be just like this or block here. I could consider this as a short PI, and then that could have been a decent trade as well. Yeah, but my catch here was maybe I could go to the 5 minute and show you. There was a POI sitting here. Obviously, this trend here. I think Cardozo also had the POI here. So it's like you can mark this whole level as a POI, and then if you see like obviously I saw some bid coming in and mostly it was just longs being liquidated here. And then I was like, okay, this is a decent POI because if it was to like come down here, then again I would have tried to maybe long this wick. But overall it was just a decent level that was sitting here all day. And that's why
POI.
yeah, I long there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I saw that there was a FVG as well, which it bounced off, didn't it? I think a 1 minute FVG. So I guess that was near your POI, as you said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I could show you the flow here as well. Yeah, this overall this looks like a very clean low made usually, obviously into a POI, where it's just again a lot of negative delta and mostly some longs are getting liquidated as well. Again, we can go into much further detail on the overflow part, but I'll try to save that maybe for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll try to do more details on overflow, because I'm just going to and I'm just trying to get over the lower time frame structure right now because it's so much important if you're only looking at PA, right? And most of my trades are just like looking at the lower time frame PA where I don't even need to watch the order flow and other things usually.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Good,
Oh,
mate.
yeah, like this one. Wait, I could show you. I think yeah, when I woke up, I think I woke up around here, and then the first message I received was by a rep, right? Rep told me that there's like a low hold here, and then I just opened the chart. I saw some obviously bullish structure here, low hold, high break, more high break. We
Yeah.
come into the PY here, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
my trade wasn't too long. The first low made here. It was after we came back around here. Let me use the pen tool here. Yeah, yeah. My long wasn't like this first low here because obviously it was an initial reaction and it was just the start of the day. We could have printed a nice FEG and filled the POI then ran up. But instead, all I look for the reaction that and the follow up mainly. Mainly is the follow up that I trade obviously, and the follow up here was just the second low being made, which again was more indication that there's some delta we have trapped here, and overall the lows are holding, and then I just took like a long here, and then my first TP was around here, and then I saw that it wasn't breaking down. Again, the same theory that I have been preaching for the last three sessions, right?
Yeah.
Obviously you have an extreme POI, obviously a short POI or a long POI, and then the only thing that matters when price comes to that POI is a lower time frame trend, right? And then you can see like we came into that POI, we made a high, we made a low, and then we broke that high, and then after breaking that high, like it's like we are into a POI. And again, I told you the weight of the lower time frame trend and the structure is more than the weight of the extreme and FVG or order block. So you have to give more importance to what price is currently doing. And what it did was like it made a low. Obviously, there's no trigger to short. And if you're trying to short the first move, then I mean then you have to again wait for follow-up, which obviously it did not get here. And then obviously
Yeah.
you get a losing trade. So that's why I recommend that you wait for some sort of structure to be made. Like here, there was no sort of structure. It just took the high on the first, sorry, the second move up, and then what you let's just assume like you try to short here on the POI here, right? You shorted here on the POI, and then you saw like it made a like a low, and then you were like, okay, this may just be bearish, but you were wrong here. What you could do to make up that loss is like you see that again, the lower time frame trend, it comes back into the POI, it pumps back up, and that's your trigger. You just go long, put your stops here because again, if it breaks that low, then you're taking like obviously two L's, but you could get another trade idea where what usually happens is like you get some sort of distribution, and then that will be a much higher probability setup where you could eventually just break even out after taking two L's. But obviously those two L's will only be there when you're trading without confirmation, right? So,
Cool.
and if you were just
Yeah,
looking at the
brilliant.
PA, you would have gotten that, okay, this was just trending higher from here. And that would be a decent trade. After that, it was, I think, I don't know who it was, but someone's TP was around here. And then I just extended the TP based on this slow grind alone. And then after that, prices just trended up, and then it just kept trending higher. And I'm not sure if there's like a, if this was the top, maybe you have to go back to the 5 minute chart. Yeah, actually, yeah, this was the high that was made yesterday, right? And then we have like a huge gap here, just a huge void sitting here, and no sort of really just any POI, just a huge POI. So reaction here would be more optimal, and then we just distribute there. I think I TP'd fully around here when somebody in the chat went short, and then I fully TP'd, but I didn't manage to get like a decent short there. Let me zoom back. Again, most of my trades today and in the last, I think, 3 or 4 days has been on the 15 seconds, right? Because I explained yesterday in the call that the lower time frame, the tick charts, and the order flow aspect is what matters in volatile markets, where you get a better understanding of what exactly is happening when a lot of participants are trading like every other minute. So that's why going to those three things that I mentioned yesterday is so important, right? So the other trade, the other two trades after this was, first of all, I managed to miss this move. Well, I think I wasn't on the screen yet, but you could have tried to short, like if, let's just say you didn't get on short at this SFP, you could have tried to like short a breakdown here. Same pattern. If you zoom into the price section, you're gonna see the same type of pattern that I've mentioned all over again. Like I could mark this here. So we have a high SFP, and then we have like a retest here, and it's the same type of candles, and it's the same type of candles that I mentioned yesterday, right? So just memorize these
Yeah.
candles where it's like it starts it from like a slow grind where there's no high breaks, or when it's trending up,
Yeah.
there's like no low breaks. And if you see just like this sort of PA, this sort of candle, that just means there's going to be an expansion move right afterwards. And then you could have shorted here, stopped right above this, and then TP. I think there's a PY around here, or maybe around here, and that would have been a decent trade for you as well. And then even if you didn't get to short this slow grind, which was a very obvious setup, price came back to like retest here, and then you could have gotten on the rejection here, stops here, and then I think there was a overall huge POI. You could have TP that as well. And then afterwards
Cool.
it's like the same thing, right? Price comes here, no reaction on the short PI if you're looking to short. This is very microstructure, right? You don't have to be
Yeah.
like too much focused on these candles, every single one of it, but I'm just explaining overall PA that there was no reaction here really. And then again, we have like the slow grind candle formation where it means, okay, if you consider this a short PY, you would not want to short this. And then again, obviously it led to an expensive move afterwards. But even that didn't get any follow-up and there was a continuous trend down. Again, lots of trading opportunities on the day. And again, this is very zoomed in, especially in the 15-second chart, which I am on, and I'm just explaining the opportunities that were there in the chart and some trades that I took. And
Nice, mate.
this here is another trade that I took. My first trade here was just I was expecting that we SFP this, and then I got onto the low here, and but there was like no follow-up. This again is very microstructure, but microstructure is what builds up most of how like high frequency trading is also formed. It's like we are getting no bid above this specific level. That means there's more aggressive sellers, and it's likely that it could continue to trend down. Like this here, this low can be, I'd consider as a high, which obviously didn't break. And then I was expecting that obviously it breaks down, but it was like the risk was too low. And then I was like, okay, I don't really mind taking the stop. And then I took the stop, and then we SFP this. So yeah, this line around here is again an FEG that's probably sitting back there. And then what we did was like SFP the low. We came back up, and then my trade here was actually much more decent and worthy of looking at. It's again the same slow grind setup, right? So first of all, we SFP low, we come back, we pop up, we create some bid. We make again, I told you like if you see like quick retrace candles like this, that means that you can consider those as lows as well. And then if you see again bid like this, where it's just a bunch of strength candles in their respective trend that you're trying to trade, and then you see like no breakdown on those, then you just go long on them without really thinking. And then that's what I did. I went long here, very tight stop, because again, if that one low was to break, then it's likely then it breaks all the remaining lows, and then it comes back down here. And then if it does another SFP and just makes a distribution and trap all the people, I could have tried to long another time at the break structure. So again, the risk to reward was so good here. That's why I took the trade, and then I just let it run. As you can see that obviously there's multiple break structures here, more confirmation to hold. Again, I told you these candles form lows, and if you go to the 1 minute maybe, then I think this looks like low, multiple candles here, and then you can see that it did not break those lows. It held, and then it just made a continuous trend higher, which was obviously a very decent structure. You can see even here we did not break that specific low, where we were
Yeah.
just forming a trend, which again could have been like a decent long opportunity, but I think we were in a short PY. And you can like try to add on such levels if you see such sort of lows hold, but mostly you should be better positioned at a high or low to avoid any type of risk where it starts to like form compression here, and then you're just paying up for trade fees at such levels. That's why it's great that you understand how these sort of strength is recognized at obviously high or low level, so you get the better entries. And after that, it's just we just came into this POI, which is like a huge FPG here. That was the TP here. And then quick reaction from there. I should have tried to short here. Again, shoring like this move here. If you can see in it's very clean here as well. Let's just assume you did not manage to get a clean short here. in the FVG POI, then you see obviously a breakdown here, a low being made here. Maybe you consider this a break structure, but it's like just breaking into again. I think there's a 1 minute FVG around here somewhere. And then what we did is like we come up here, make a high, reject that high again, form like an overall trending structure where it's trending down now.
Yeah,
And then again, you see, even if you did not manage to get like short on all these three entries, then you can see that again, it's the same type of pattern where I discussed where if you see this type of pattern, it just leads to an expensive move. You can see around here on all these candles, there's no such sort of candles like these, right? And it's just again, it just shows like strength in that respective trend. And then you could have shorted this here with your
I
tight
see.
stops
Yeah,
of around here, and then that just led to an expensive move.
yeah, yeah.
And it's
Nice, mate. That's
yeah, and it's the-
good
and it,
stuff.
yeah, and it's the same. It's really just the same PA, especially this type of PA is worth trading, especially in volatile markets, right? Currently, we are in a volatile structure where we are having like 2% moves every single hour, every other 2 hours, right? Which is obviously rare to see on BTC because on BTC, usually most of the time what we're doing is like we're just ranging within like a 0.5 or maybe 0.3% range. But if you're seeing like this type of moves, 1% and more every other hour, that's what I'd consider is a volatile structure. And 1% is like what we could count here. It's like, I don't know, like yeah, it's a 600 sorry, it's a 700 $600 move, right? Which obviously is very decent on BTC.
Cool.
And then these trades here again, I think this is just a few hours ago, right? Maybe what is this? Yeah, just a few hours ago, same pattern. Like I think I tried to long somewhere here again, but that wasn't a good trade. Maybe I didn't. And then I just got on the SFP here, which obviously it SFP'd into the prior low made here, which again we had some more confluences of just a few bit stacks sitting here, and then you see SFP. And I told you like, if it was bearish, I would have closed this long here if I didn't see these type of candles, right? If I saw any sort of rejection here, then that scenario would have looked more like this to me, where it's like it just P just rolls out over, but it's like this type of like how do I explain this type of structure is what played out here, where there's like no sort of rejection in this trend, and you just ape on any candle that you can see, and a break structure here was just more confirmation that we are about to revisit the POI above. And then we have like few more trades. The second trade here was especially this one here. I want to discuss like I think I obviously this like shared all of those trades in the chat lifetime in real time. And this here especially is it's like first of all I TP my trade here, and then I see like a slow grind structure here, right? Again, the slow grind structure is exactly how I explained. It's like a candle forms. We can consider this green candle here. First of all, this white candle as a bullish candle. Then there's a few candles that form but aren't really breaking down that specific bullish candle that formed the move. And then we see another type of candle that made there. And then after that, again, more chop. But then we see another type of bullish candle being made. Like we can assume like first this candle, then this one, and then this one, right? And then that just forms a slow grind setup for us. And that forms again that type slow grind candle formation where it just leads to an expensive move. And that's exactly what we had here. And these setups are so good, especially in volatile environments, which I have been preaching for the last 2 sessions, where it's like you can go with such tight stops and you will see it work very flawlessly.
Yeah, amazing stuff, mate. Yeah, some excellent trades, as you say. Really good.
Yeah, I mean,
Really good.
yeah, yeah, and then there's obviously a few L's as well. I think yeah, if you move to the alts, I took like only one L on alts where it was just this BDC long, which was obviously a good trade as well. It just got no follow-up, which could have been avoided if we looked at this overall structure where we just weren't breaking this high. But then again, we got onto a long here, which was again shared. Everything was shared in real time in the crypto chat where it was like
Yeah, yeah,
lot
nice.
of
Yeah,
yeah, there was a lot of aggressive shorters in this entire specific region where around here from 0.1 to 711 to like down here. And then the moment we starting to hold these lows, again, this is the same type of structure. This is the 1 minute chart, right? If I could use the 15-second chart, I think we could probably see better. Let me open. Where it's like if I go to the if I go back to that entry of mine, if it loads up, I could show you that it's the same type of structure that I've been talking about. It's just that setup and that strategy is so good that you can obviously get to bank a lot. That's why I've been trying to preach that for the last few sessions, where it's like currently we have volatile structure, a volatile market. That's why I hope that you make the best use of it, and that's why it's so important to like go over that a few times just to get that in the brain. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's good, mate. It's all good. Brilliant.
what about you, Wayne? Have you been like taking any trades?
Well, I am. I've just again mainly sort of watching and practicing. Really, I've passed phase one. I was waiting. So the last few days, just been waiting for the. I'm still going to wait another day for the phase two credentials to come through. So I've just been sort of playing around a bit. Um, I've just kind of just yeah, being honest, I've just jumped on a couple of the same trades as yourselves. Not all of them at all, only a couple actually, but yeah. And I've played a couple of wrong sort of trades as well, a couple of losses and that, but nothing sort of noted as much. But yeah, of course, yeah, learning all the time for sure.
Yeah, and that's great to hear that you passed like phase one. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what was your main setup? What would you say?
It's yeah, but just trying to identify same as yourself, sort of, POI is valid, a good strong sort of valid POI, order block, a good FVG, and of course understanding structure and and a bias as to where where the trend's going, and then yeah, just looking for that trigger really.
Yeah, I would like if you would share me some of your trades maybe later after this session, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I'll do
very
that. Yeah, I'll
very
probably,
yeah
probably
very good to
do
hear
that
that you
tomorrow because
passed.
what I'd like to do is start sharing them in the chat because then of course I can then I know that's going to be beneficial because of course I know that's why you do it and why many of the others do. You then become more accountable, don't you, to what you're doing at any time.
Yeah. Also, I was just explaining the spread here, right? Where it's like, again, I went to the 15-second chart here. Compared to the 1 minute, 1 minute looks like just a bunch of candles, right? But again, even there, you could realize that, okay, a few candles were trying to form. This was, again, looked like a slow grind setup, right? And then again, you can see the same type of structure, low hold. And this mainly here, the trigger here was actually that there was a lot of shorts coming in. And then when there's like a lot of shorts coming in, and then if you see a decent low hold, then that's the best trigger that I personally like, where it's like, okay, a lot of shorts were coming in, but the price started to hold the lows. That is a clear sign of absorption, that sellers are just getting absorbed there, and they cannot push the price down, and they're likely to be faded very, very soon, right? So that's the best type of trigger I'd like to see when I'm trying to like fade a trend, right? So since I'm fading short here, a trend down, so that's the best trigger. If I could see, I could get, I trade. And then it's the
Cool,
same
mate.
like we have all lows, and you can see what it's the same type of structure, the slow grind, and then just more strength. Even here, like you look at the same type of candle, right? It's the same pattern, and if I move the chart here, it led to an expansive move afterwards. It's just such a clean pattern, and most people don't understand it, which is good. It's good that most people don't understand it, right? That means more
Yeah,
benefit we can take from it. And then it's just this type of move you see this type of candles, it just leads to an expensive move. And what you could always do with this is like just this long here, put your stops before any low of the candle, or maybe even tighter, and then just let the trade run. That's how easy it is to like catch these type of moves, especially in a volatile environment. On alts, it's like alts are mostly volatile most of the time. They're moving like 1% and more most of the time, so they are volatile. And if you see like structure like this on alts, just take the trade. I recommend. But on BTC, especially on BTC, you have to wait for volatile structures, like the move from 50 to 60K, because most of the times, 80% of the times in BTC, it's just true ranging, and that's not the case for most alts. So it's something to keep in mind as well. And then and
yeah,
then and then you were asking, I think it was you that was asking, right? That right when like how do I correlate my trades with alts, right? Or how do I choose alts? Was that the
yeah. That was myself. Yes.
wait, can you repeat the question? What was
Yeah, sure, mate. Just I think you just explained some of it just then. Actually, just how differently you would look at trading an alt compared to BTC.
yeah, and also I think Caroso asked me like what I look for alts to trade, and how I trade alts personally. So I trade alts, like I trade alts only when there's like strength in that specific trend, right? So this was an SXP trade that I shared very early in the Asia session, I think very early London session, where I shared the P&L like long entries with Rizal. And the idea was simply this, right? So we had a nuke, and then I don't try to bid nukes. That's something I try to avoid on alts. I don't try to like if you have a, let's just assume like if you have a continuous trend down, I don't try to bid that. Or if you have a flush, I also don't try to bid that. The only thing that I try to bid is that after we have like a clean flush, if we have a move like this, where again it's the same type of structure, where again I told you break structure, more and more looks like a slow grind. It just means that it's gonna lead to an expensive move above, because that's more indication of TVAP, which TVAP I've explained a few times earlier, which again is, I could write here. TVAP is just like time weighted average price, right? TVAP stands for like time weighted average price, which just means that a person is hitting the market with orders. So I'll explain that in a quick bit. So if I want to like long a specific alt, let's just assume this altcoin is, just assume this altcoin is INJ, right? Let's just assume this altcoin is INJ. So if I'm expecting INJ to be pumping to this level above, and I'm like, I don't really care if INJ goes down here. I'm expecting INJ to reach that specific level above in like the next few days. So what I'll try to do is like I have to like DCA, so I don't care if it moves like this in the next hour or move like this in the next day. What I'll try to do is like open a TVAP order. So a TVAP is especially is an order, a type of order, like a limit order, a market order. It's like a order where it's like you are buying that specific pair. In this is INJ we are considering. So I'm buying INJ, and I can set like a timer for every buy. So if I'm buying like 100 INJ, I could set that order, the TVAP order, in a way that it executes like I am buying one INJ every
Yeah.
5 minutes or every 10 minutes, right? And then like my orders keep hitting for every 10 minutes till it reaches 100 orders, right? So it's like I buy one order here, one order my long position has executed, so I'm in a long now. But it's like after every 10 minute, okay, 10 minute has now occurred here. There's going to be another order of mine that hits the market, and now price comes down here, and there's going to be usually it doesn't really come down when it's TVAPing, because a TVAPs is only done by very huge orders most of the time by most people. So it's like I'm assuming like 100 orders, right? Or one order every 10 minutes, but it's like 1 million or 100K worth of that order every other minute. That's how TVAP execute, and it just leads to that slow grind. So it's like every 10 minutes, like my one order is filling till it reaches 100 orders, right? So after
Mm.
110 minutes, my full position is gonna be fulfilled, and that's how TVAP works. And it's this here is
Okay.
an example of TVAP. All right, orders hitting every other market, every other minute, or that specific time frame that is decided by that person who's hitting the orders. And then it just leads to an expensive move afterwards, because that is like very strong bid there, which again cannot be overstepped by most sellers, unless there's a very huge seller that just needs them. So that's how TVAP works. And I was explaining how I would bid alts, and it will be just if I see TVAP on them, like a slow growing structure, that's when I would bid alts, or when if we are trading in a trend, that's when I would bid alts. I would never bid alts if we are just sneaking down and we have like no follow-up, and
Yeah.
the alt is like trending down. I would not try to do that, because again, altcoins move very, very volatile, irrespective of how BEC would move. That's why the like 10% move here. So where am I gonna put my stop if I'm bidding like a flush, right? How low am I gonna go, right? So that would just like reduce most of my RR trade. And like my R would be such bad if I try to have like such a big stop, right? How low would I go? Like the wick could have gone much lower. So that's why I try to avoid like bidding a nuke or a trend that's going down on alts. I just try to bid strength wherever I see it on alts, especially. And a way you can filter alts, another like question you could ask, like how do I get my alt list right? And then I think I have posted in the chat here. Let me search. So browser saying Tia should bounce. Where's Tia? Okay, Tia should bounce very soon. Not sure what the POI is, currently trending down. It's like Tia should like do a break structure here for me to bid. Maybe I could show him. Okay, I was searching. Okay, crypto watch. So it's a list. It's a list that still needs to be filtered. I could show you here. I think you must have seen it in the chat, right? This is a list. Yeah, this is a list that is separated by sectors here. So I could, if you zoom in the chart later on, there's like sectors like volatility. There's sectors like AI or gaming coins. So it's all defined and labeled. So you could zoom in on these. Mostly the ones that are trendy are AI ones. So that's what we have been trading for the past few weeks. And then there's layer two, layer ones. Everything is labeled on a specific image. You can go and look that up as well. And then after you have like decided which coins are more volatile, you can use like Orion Terminal for that. So Orion is just like a terminal where there's like it's much more of a screener where there's like this type of setting where you can see like a lot of alter where it shows you the daily change of price, and you can set up a few more settings, go to here and then like put this here or maybe not get it back here, right? So you could use it that way as well. Let me close this here. And then the only thing that really matters here is if you're trying to long an altcoin, you have to see that BTC beta is in the negative. That means BTC, respective to BTC, this coin has moved more. And then BTC correlation is just gotta be normal, not too high, not too close to one or above. And ETH correlation should be positive if you're looking to long that specific coin. And then what matters is the volume and the volatility that is going on. So more volatility and the more obviously open interest and OIA changes, the better the coin is for trading. And since we're scalpers, we don't really care if the trend is going down or upwards, right? We just need volatility on that specific trend. So we can just like again use our slow grind setups and keep letting the market do the job. And that you can filter by looking at this. I'll send you the settings for this. It's just you go to settings here and then there's a few things that you can drag and then you can set them like this. So it's first price, BTC beta. I'll just send you a screenshot later on. So this is another thing that I use for altcoins, and that's how mostly I personally trade alts. If you have
Excellent
any,
stuff, mate. Yeah, thanks for that.
yeah, if you have any questions for that, you can like go on.
Yeah, hey Shin.
Yeah.
What was that you look in Orion? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so okay, so you go to Orion, you can go to settings. Oh, let me just like share the screen share. Yeah, I'll send the screenshot later. It's not like gonna screenshot the whole bar here. So it's like a few things that you can drag and drop from here, add them back to the line, and what will happen is like you will see them added to your screen here. And then what you have to look for is like you have to see for price change doesn't really matter because price change is this here price change is just how much price has changed in like a day, and then you go to the bong chart. It's like we have moved like 0.0231 overall. We have moved around that much of a change. So and to explain that much of a change is like, let me annotate again. Annotate the version. Okay, so it's like we have like a zero value, and if we go from zero to we go from 10 or like, and then there's like a 0.5 here. So if we only went to like sorry, I mean, if you don't consider the 10 part, if we move from like 0 to 0.5, then what's gonna be written here is like 0. So price move from like 0 to 0.5. So there has been like a 0.5 price change for that specific alt. For like Aave, it's like 100, right? Since Aave is a much bigger coin where its overall price is like 1,700, 300, right? So in the day, it's moved like 108, which is decent volatility, and and I think you get the point how the price here is counted. But the thing that you want to look for is if you're looking for longing an altcoin, especially, then you need to see the BTC correlation data below either 0.3, respective to how BTC, oh, sorry, not the correlation. You need to see the BTC beta, where it's like it's not high, like this SHIB here is a bit too high, which eventually will be even out because I think meme coins are also pumping a lot. So I think SHIB will move maybe tomorrow or whenever this beta goes a bit down. What you want to look for is like the BTC beta being low, like this type of value is decent. Obviously respective to that coin, which if that coin is on what chain, maybe Solana chain, Ethereum, related to Ethereum. So a few of those things matter as well. And if you don't have understanding of that type of on-chain knowledge, then what you can do is like you can just go to that coin, what's the coin, how much the price has moved, and how much percentage that is. You can just open the chart and see the to see the price range, and then you can go and you can look for mostly the volatility and then the OI change, and then you want to look for ETH beta. So ETH beta is again what chain it is on. Pepe is again a meme coin. So what's mostly important is that how much price it has changed and how much tick it has moved. Tick I'll explain is more trades. So the more trades that you see is again the more that coin has moved. So this coin has moved a lot this year as well, 21K. This again, which coin is this? This is like SHIB. Okay, that coin has moved a lot as well. This is 18,000. This is just the amount of trades in a specific candle or a time, which again I'll explain charts later in the sessions. And then this here has had a lot of trades, which is ADA. You could trade this as well. So mainly just go and look for ticks, because again, you would understand that more people are trading it. And when more people are trading it, that means there's more volatility. And then you see like compared to tick, like this has 5,000 ticks, it's low key, right? And then you can see the ticks and the volume compared. So the more the ticks, the more the volume, and the more the volume, the more price is gonna trend. So that coin is more important. On that specific day, you should be trading that coin. And these type of trends last for like 1 week, especially obviously like Bonk is gonna move for like 1 week and then slow down. And then when it's slowing down, you go back to the screener and then look for the alts which are being traded more. Like you can see this coin here is only being traded 2,000. What coin is this? Wait. This is Algo USDT, and it's being only traded to 2,000, and you can see the volume is pretty low. And then as compared to like the bonk, the volume is too good. So the main thing that you want to look for is just watch how many ticks there is per 5 minutes, right? Per 5 minutes. And if there's a lot, that means there's more volatility in that specific coin, and then you can go and trade that. And then obviously volatility for 15 minutes will be more in those specific coins. And obviously, if you can only use these two things if you don't understand ETH beta, BTC correlation, or ETH correlation. Wait.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
What was okay? There's another question. So it's like, Shini, is there anything to pay attention to on alts when BTC? Yeah, Skiga, yeah, okay. When BTC is doing something other than trending upwards. To on alts. I mean, there's a few I could explain it the chart maybe. So it's like when overall I'll show you the direct proof post as well, where it's like it's much better explained where when BTC is trending higher and then it's just trending higher, what ETH and the other alts is doing, they're performing a laggard, where it's like the amount of move BTC has done, ETH would do half of it. And then when BTC would start to like chop, and then what will happen in that specific chop is like ETH will start to trend the same move, but higher this time. And what like sorry, if I could clear out the ETH move, and clear out the range move as well, what alts are doing in that time is like they're mostly chopping, maybe nuking, and some are like trending higher, same to Ethereum. And then again, you can use like a template. I'll drop in some templates later. I have another screener, like even this here isn't too much useful if you're not understanding of ETH correlation, ETH beta. So I'll send you another template bit. Actually, let me drag it on this screen. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you this template as well, so you can see like a few alt names here. You could also watch this. This is beta and correlation, and we have BTC 30-second chart open on every single one of these. So you can like compare the altcoins that are moving more. And then again, I told you you only have to trade strength on these altcoins. So if you see an altcoin that is moving, like let's just assume this one, and then it's like you're going down, and we are seeing more and more that on that specific altcoin, like this one. I'm not sure I can see, like this is 1,000 some meme coin here. So if you see strength on that altcoin, again, what you need to see is like the percentage here. So if the percentage is more on average respective to BTC, then you should be focused on that alt. Again, the more the percentage there is, the more volatile the coin is, the more it will trend. And the more it will trend, the better trades and the slow grind setups you will get. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And this here I think is like separate into sectors, maybe like AI ones. I'm not sure. I haven't checked this one yet, but this one here, we got AXS, Floki, and some more. Maybe it's just separated randomly. I'll explain that later and maybe send some details in the chat as well. But you can use this template as well for trading alts. And we go back to BTC. Okay, BTC didn't have any follow-up here. I did like close most of my parcels here, and got closed on the remaining 20-30% position. So overall, I consider this as a decent trade. And what was I explaining? Yeah, Orion screener, you can again go for ticks, volume, and volatility. That's mainly it, what I look for personally. Let me know if you have any question about that. When I'm checking the chat. Rep or Giga, if you have any question, you can let me know. Um, currently BTC is just, let me see if you have a POI here. So, yeah, we do have a POI here. Yeah, that's decent. I'll try to long. Maybe I'll consider this whole POI. Yeah, I'll consider this POI and this POI here. I'll try to I'll try to limit long here, but for here I'll try to wait for a reaction. If you don't get the limit, I'll wait for a reaction here. And then we just go to 15 seconds lower time frame and then see. Currently we are not getting the reaction. We're just trending down here. We need to like hold this low. Sorry. Need to hold this low and then a reclaim above this, and that's like a trigger of for long to me. A reclaim above this, another trigger to like TP to like here. Sorry for the mess. Let me clear this. Yeah, okay, so we got the follow-up on the POI here. And any sort of like slow grind here is more of a bit for me to at least this POI and this one here. Okay, you guys think I will try it out on alts, never trading them before. But you need to be trading more on alts. It's like most again, BTC is volatile like this 20%, 30% of the time, but the remaining 80, 70% is just chopping, and that's where the edge for trading alts come in. So if you're just like trying to position in range and you're getting stopped here and there, I recommend that you rather trade alts. If you have any question, Rep, you can let me know. For today's session, I was just reviewing the trades we took today again because again it's the same volatile structure where I just want you guys to like have that in your mind because it's such an easy setup, which I feel like most people just miss out on. And then just a bit more explanation on how I was trading alts. Or flow bit I'll get on tomorrow and till Saturday I'll try to be more explained on it.
Yeah, I have questions in on that chat. Yeah, on that chat. You use that 5 seconds time frame, right? If that give you boss, then where do you put your stop loss?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Like you're saying you're talking about this PA here?
Yeah, yeah. That if that were to give you a boss right there up, then where would you put your stop loss there?
Yeah, okay, so if I get a break structure here, even this high, I'll long
Yeah,
here with my stops this current wick and then just like let it run to here. And my side it's the same thing. We have again it's the same thing. So we have low made. Let me mark it from here. So we have like a low made, we have SCP coming to the short POI, but again I told you it doesn't matter what the POI is doing, what matters is how price is trending. And then if it starts to like form again like low made, another low made, high break. We start to like make that sort of decent structure. You go long here, which uh I did a bit, and then you try to look for this rejection. And if you don't see that rejection, you see like a bunch of these candles, strength candles, that means it's going to definitely go here. But if it rejects, makes like a decent red candle like this, that means okay, you should be doing aggressive TPs. Now this candle here, if you see a bit more like these, the strength candles here, then that means it's going to like run a one more time.
but you can't really see this in 1 minute candle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you cannot. Again, that's why I told you like you're missing out on a huge edge, especially in volatile environments. Like we're moving how much from just this entry we have already moved like $200 move, right? And that's decent for BTC scalping. And usually in non-volatile movements, 0.4% of a move is literally all we do in a whole day, right? And that's how bad it is most of the time. It's like this is how price moves in sometimes in a very low volatile structure. But again, if you're getting moves like this every other second, why not? Why not take the edge that you have, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, get it. Thanks, man.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, also if you're just like live testing it, let me use the other pen. So if we start to, which we aren't currently, I'll assume this candle is a low, and if you're bullish, usually what I do is like, which obviously we aren't getting a reaction. I do it after this high is taken, right? We have rejected from the short PR for now. If you break this high one more time, then what I usually do is like go long here and then like put my stops to that low and then wait for that break structure that is eventually pending on that PR. That's the second last setup I could show you, which one I took based on that. It was I think this setup here where it was like again where we were in like a short POI here, yeah. So we are in here a short POI, an order block, and then what we are doing here is just we are grinding. We are grinding into that short POI. Again, I just explained a few minutes ago. We're grinding higher, and we just ate long, and with a very tight stop, and it's gonna work. And if you go back to current PA. Current PA we did not break up, so no trigger there, which again I told you needs to like break that current high made. This high, which it did not, so no need to long there. So if he had broken this high, then that long would have been a very well trade. But again, it currently rejected from that POI. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, you can let me know. I think that pretty much wraps up the session today. Also, I took a long here. I told a few minutes ago I got an entry around here, which tapped here. So I'll try to move my actually let me move my stops. Okay, I move my stops and then I'm just gonna let this run to this POI. Maybe TP partials if we like scam reject for taking this high, which it shouldn't. Let me raise from some. Yeah, I mean, I was just, I think I already explained the Orion, where it's like you need to watch these three things. Ticks, the more ticks you see, like 23,000, that means there's more people trading. That means there's more trades that have been executed. And obviously, the more the trades, the more volume there is. As compared to, you can see like 24,000 ticks, 24,000 trades that have occurred in the last 5 minutes. And that means like $5 million volume in the last 5 minutes. And as compared to this, like 2,000 ticks, which just means like 2,000 trades in the last 5 minutes and like only 220K volume. So the thing that you need to look for is like more ticks, more volume. You need to be trading that specific coin.
Cool.
That's pretty much it for that. And then we took like
Good
a
night.
long here, and then which obviously just got absolutely rejected here. Uh, and if it doesn't hold a low, then I'll close that. Then wait for a POI here and then bounce. But this was a decent trade. I could have TP partials, which I did a bit, and then we just did not break higher here. Now, and then I was explaining this template as well. I'll drop the link of this template later in the chat. And it's just that it's like you see on the right, you can zoom in later on. There's like percentages. The white line here, all the white lines here, the white line here is BTC, and these are a few pair of alts that are set here compared to BTC. And if you see more percentage on those compared to alts as compared to BTC, that means they're more volatile. And what again, another thing is helpful, like if BTC nuke like 2% and some alt nuke like only 0.3%, 0.4%, that means that specific alt is strong as well. That is also an indication thing that you can look for. and trade. And if you see like BTC is only nuking 2.3%, but there's an alt that's nuking way too much, 5%, 7%, then you can try to avoid longing that. So you can use the beta, and beta is just like having one alpha set of pair, and compared to that, how did the other pair perform, and that is just beta. So you
Okay,
can
mate.
use
Cool.
information to your benefit while trading alts.
Brilliant. Good to know, mate. Good to know.
And then yeah, if you have any more questions, you can just let me know later in the chat. But that's what I discussed today was just trading the same slow grind setup. Obviously, again, I want you guys to be much better at it, because again, in a volatile structure, that should be your bread and butter, right? Because it gives you the highest RR possible that you can use with the best type of risk to reward. And then I discussed a bit more on how I choose alts. Well, again, if you have any more questions, you can let me know now or in the session chat.
That's brilliant, mate. So again, it'd be recorded, yes. I'll be able to watch that back again as well. And yeah, same with the other sessions. It's good to see that they're recorded. We can look back
Yeah.
and take notes and keep learning from them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then. See you guys later.
Superb, mate. Thanks again. Yeah.
Thank you
Cheers.
for joining.
Cool,
Cheers.
mate. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.